Meet Canada's top voices in innovation, live in Vancouver at LLLSummit 2025. Featuring Samin Saadat, professor at Adler University and organizational development expert.
Please join me in welcoming Samin Saadat.
All right, hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Samin Saadat, and we're going to be talking about what is it that's really holding us back from the growth we're really aiming. Is it our culture? Is the leadership? Is the team? What is it that's actually holding us back? A little bit about myself. So my expertise is in organizational psychology, consulting and leadership coaching. And a little bit about the background that is relevant to know. So I used to do a lot of research at UBC in the field of social psychology, cultural psychology, psychology of religion, brain and behavior. And then I specialized during my master in organizational behavior, and I got into workforce. I realized people are dead souls in corporates. And I got into this side hustle just for my own interest to see whether I should pursue a PhD or stay in corporate world, to really understand why companies spend a lot of money on their people, on leadership, on their productivity, yet they still lose a lot of money due to lack of engagement and productivity. So they are losing money on both ends. So I got interested in this really question, and then I started the research, and the research evolved into this business, Jalapeño Employee Engagement, which is on the mission to leverage science of psychology and technology, specifically for small, mid-sized businesses, to ensure if they're investing resources on their people, they actually get a high return of their investment. So the nature of our, if I walk, can you hear me? I feel, yeah? Okay. So the nature of our work is we really get into the hidden layers of individuals in organizations, hidden layers of actually organization itself has a lot of hidden layers that we get access to it on a daily basis. So we really see what other people cannot see within the organization, and they actually pay us to make it visible for them. So, Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, just really fast way. Okay, so what do we really see? How many entrepreneurs we have in the room right now? Okay, and how many managers or in a management position? So they manage people, budget. All right. So maybe it resonates with you. It's been over 12 years. I have coached hundreds of leaders, and I've seen this pattern, and it might resonate with you. When things are going well, these are the themes I hear in my coaching sessions. This is going to be a game changer for my business. We are going to disrupt the industry with our innovation. I can see limitless potential in this opportunity. Success is just around the corner. I can feel it. So this is when things are going well. So we wake up, life is good, I feel good, my business is good. And then here's the other side. I'm worried my team doesn't like me. They just don't get it. They don't get me. They don't understand my world. They don't understand what I'm trying to sell here. So they just don't get it. I fear that overwork and stress will lead to serious health problems. They're I work 80 hours per week, I really sacrifice everything for my business, for my idea, and I'm actually start being worried about my well-being. I feel so lonely. This is very, very common with founders, and usually the pattern I've seen with founders, they start this friendship with their team when the organization is small, and they're oh, my team doesn't get it, because they don't, because they get their salary regardless. It's your job to make sure you pay the bill every month, and you feel so lonely to go through this pressure alone. And I'm frustrated with everyone around me. You start building resentment with the people you work with your business partners. We have seen this a lot. So really the pattern I've seen happening, if it's you're on the Ferris wheel. If the business is doing good, I feel good. I feel really good. I see the limitless potential for my business. If my business is not doing good, this is the viewpoint I have. Things are not going well. I'm at the bottom of my Ferris wheel. And then when things are good, I'm at the top, so I have a better view of all that opportunities that is there for my business. So you're going through this roller coaster of ups and downs within your business. It's like, sometimes you're like, I'm tired of getting too excited and then getting heartbroken. And then like you really get into that cycle. It's like, so what is it that you should be really aiming for? It's getting out of that Ferris wheel. Very easy to say, but years of work to be able to build a character where your business goes through ups and downs, but you remain grounded. You don't get too excited when things go well. You don't get too depressed when things are not going well. And that's the goal as an entrepreneur, as a leader. I highly encourage you to put for yourself to get out of that Ferris wheel so you don't have a leakage of your energy on a daily basis. And I'm going to tell you what that really means. And I really hope by the end of this presentation, it's only 20 minutes, so I cannot really give you exact practical tool, but I hope I'll give you some sort of perspective that helps you to figure out where your starting point is. Really, sometimes you wake up in the morning exhausted, like even if you had 8 hours of good sleep, you still feel tired because of all the ups and downs you've been going through. And this is what you're facing. You're like, this is the issue happening with the government. The taxes are happening. I don't get the funding I have. I'm a woman. I'm an immigrant. I don't get this funding. I'm being discriminated. My business partner just don't get it. It's just like they are not hungry enough for the success of the business. I have issues with the sales. I just know my idea is working. I have to learn how to sell it. If I have to figure out the right marketing. So there is a lot of variables involved in how you're actually feeling about your business and how your business is doing. And you're like, what is it I have to focus on? Is it like I should cut down my social nights to spend more time on the business? Is that what the issue is? Or is that like I have to do better marketing? Should I change my business partner? So a lot of questions come to our mind. What is it I have to start fixing to give me the ROI I'm looking for? What is it? Any idea from this? Should we start with the government? Should I leave Canada and go to US? There's money there? Like, what is it we really have to start doing when we're getting into that cycle? So it's actually you. It's you yourself need to focus on. You yourself is the one holding the growth back. But here's the trick or the secret, which the previous speaker Adel touched on it. It's not even you. It's not you holding yourself back. It's the voice within you that is holding your back. And that voice, it's something you grew up with. It really helped you to survive. Right now, it's actually helping you to survive, but it just helps you to survive. It doesn't help you to thrive. And it's really, really hard to get to know that voice. But once you know it, you notice how fast things are turning around for you. And we're going to actually dig deeper in this one. So how do I know that that voice is within me? How do I know that it's that voice in my head is driving that business decisions that take me through that ups and downs? That I look back and I feel like I still haven't made the progress I'm looking for. And 80% of the work is really get to know it. Once you have awareness, it's so much easier to manage it. So I'm going to go through a series of tactics that will help you to get to know that voice. And I want to leave one more comment is, I understand government funding, demographic of your team, yourself, like all these play a role. But the real sort of the fact is you have zero control over how your business partner is behaving. You have zero control of your team. You have zero control how the government is going to support you, how the sales is going to go. But what you have control over is really how I'm going to behave to get the result I want from my people. So speaking of leadership, of course, there are many perspectives on this one, but what I learned over this decade of experience, leadership is more about self-management rather than managing others. Once I learn how to manage myself in different scenarios to make sure I get the desired result from people, that's when you're noticing, oh, my leadership is working. So that's what I'm talking about. You have to focus on yourself because that's where the power is. That's where you can control. And even maybe your power is 5%, but that's all you have. You don't have any control over anything else. So how do I know that voice that is holding me back to see the opportunities, to manage my relationship better, to manage my team better, actually present? That voice that is destructive is my inner critic, it's my saboteurs. So what is it? Or another name, ego. What is that ego? The very first thing it might come across as cliche, but really a good leaders that I've seen that are doing so good, they trust their body. They know that my body knows more than myself. They know if I'm sitting in a really critical meeting, if my body starts telling me, oh, the heart rate is going up, or I'm start having rosy cheek, it's the moment that that voice is showing up. So, and that really happens that you go into this autopilot for years and years and you notice, oh, it wasn't me making those decisions. It was my ego. It was my inner critic. So really the first step is start building awareness. And this is a homework I'm giving all of you. You receive a text message, you receive an email, you preparing for a meeting, you're preparing for a pitch, a presentation. Start noticing when your body showing the signs of the heart rate going up, you start sweating. For everybody is different. Like they feel like there's a heavy air on their chest or your shoulders getting tense. What is it for you? Because your body, it knows better and it's telling you right away, hey, it's time to pause because that voice is really impacting how you're managing that scenario. The next one, you notice 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you start blaming your business partner for making that decision. You start blaming your team members, the leaders. It's like, I have to get rid of this team member. I've seen it a lot. You start blaming the whole world for all the problem you're facing. That itself also not your voice. That's a voice within your head that holding you back. It's nothing to do with you. It's something that all of us developed due to survival. Another one, you notice that you put so much effort in everything you're doing in marketing, in sales, in business development, and you're trapped into this wishful thinking. And you come across, oh, I'm too busy, I'm important, and you get into this cycle of, oh, I'm putting so much effort, and you wishing that things will go well. And really, what's the difference between wishful thinker and a hopeful thinker? Actually, how would you differentiate that? Like, this is a wishful thinking. Or, no, you can be hopeful. How would you how do you know I'm being a wishful thinker or hopeful? Any idea? There's no? Okay. I can share some tip at the end of this presentation, but the specific one is you have a goal and you have a roadmap to your goal. And the goal is not that I'm increasing profit by 400%, I'm going to invest in marketing. This is not a roadmap. It's like specific goal that you're going to be having. I'm focusing on brand awareness, and my strategy is specifically having more diverse team to sell it to a diverse team, a diverse market. So that's the biggest difference between a wishful thinker that they spray and pray and a hopeful thinker that they actually focus on one matter in a very strategic, clear roadmap. The next sign that you're noticing the ego is really listening to everything and making decisions for you, it works, the solutions you're implementing, it works perfectly in short term. I made the right decision to get rid of that person. I made the right decision to have this big, expensive event for my business. All of this works short term. But you notice things are actually more detrimental long term. So when you're reflecting back within the last 2 years of your decision, the decisions that worked short term, things went very smooth at the beginning, but got detrimental down the road. It wasn't you making that decision, it was your ego making that decision. So that's also another sign to notice, oh, who is it that making that decision? And the last one, you notice all the problems you're having right now, it's coming from the solution you implemented yesterday. Some example that might resonate with you, I've seen this a lot with the startups we work with. They start this friendship family culture, works for them, it's great, and then 2 years down the road they realize, oh, the solution I had to have that amazing culture of friendship and family culture is actually becoming a problem to my business. other solutions that might work at the time, but actually you notice that solution you implemented yesterday is creating your today's problem. And you notice it in the culture, in the sales, in the marketing, in how you priced. You're like, I priced myself so low and I cannot even increase my price because that's the sort of the anchor I put for the market. So this is also the sign that the decision was made not by you, but by your ego. Whether you were scared or you were pleasing the client or pleasing the team or you were sort of the micromanaging it, it was working at the time, but it was creating problem down the road. So there is no solution. Like, really there is no solution, but it's hard to stop thinking about these matters as a leader, as an entrepreneur. It comes to your family life, it comes to your well-being. You cannot separate it, it's a fact. But my recommendation to the people I work with or to all of you, you're gonna be thinking about it anyways, but think about it in a constructive way. Make sure it's you thinking about it, not your ego thinking about it. And how can you ensure that happens? By making sure you think about the right question. Nobody can give you the solutions. Even with 12 years of working with different companies, leaders, we never ever gave any solution to any organization or leaders. What we did, we just asked the right question to help them to find out their solution. The solution is within you. You just have to know, what is the question I have to think about? The question is not how to prove it to my business partner that I'm right. If you're thinking about that, that's your ego. What is the question that I have to think about? I can share some of the most powerful questions, but again, this is like a deep ocean that once you're in it, you keep learning more. But the very first and the hardest question is, how do I contribute to this situation? How do I contribute to this toxic culture that I'm having in the team? How do I contribute to this competitive, destructive dynamic I have with my business partner? How do I contribute to the marketing and the BD that I'm having with my business? Maybe 95% is the other person, the party. Maybe 90% is the government that is creating this issue. Maybe 95% is nobody's supporting your business and there's no money in Canada. I've heard all of this. But you still play your role 5%. And if you don't have awareness of that 5% contribution, you don't know where your focus area should be, because that's where your power is. That's where you can actually turn things around, that 5%. Like if the whole team, there is conflict within the team, and you're just avoiding the conflict, that avoidance is the 5% that is contributing to the conflict that exists within your team or within your leadership. So really, you really have to think about what is it I'm doing or I'm not doing, contributing to the problem I'm having. So at 3 o'clock in the morning when you wake up, it's like, okay, I have to think about, I cannot blame others, I cannot control them, focus on what is it that I did or didn't created this problem. The next one, which goes back to the hopeful thinking, like, what is your goal? All of us want to have a profitable business. All of us want to have a very constructive, thriving culture. These are the vision, these are the direction that we are aiming for. But what is that specific goal you're aiming? I'll give you one example. Like, we were so invested in one industry for years that really worked, but then the industry got hit and we got hit so badly. Like, for 2 years, I was just thinking about whether I should continue the business or just pause everything and go find another job, you know? Like, it was a tough time, but my goal was just to make sure I get into the specific other industries. I don't care if I hit the profitability or not at this moment. My focus was to make sure I get to the other specific industry. So what is that specifically you're aiming for the next year, for the next few months? And also, I know there's a lot of strategic planning we do in organization, a lot of goal setting we're doing, and we're like, things are not gonna go as planned. What's the point of doing all this strategic planning? Because it's not gonna go as planned. These are just guesstimate, it's not estimate. Yes, that's right, but at least it gives you a direction. But the timeline, you gotta really be that agile entrepreneur to see when the opportunity shows up. The next one is, you cannot be a best father and the best entrepreneur with the best business and everything going well with your business. And I've seen this a lot on social media. Since we have access to the hidden layers of organizations, I can confidently say those companies that they go very big on social media, we know they're actually struggling. I'm like, there's this big discrepancy, what they're selling and what they're facing actually. So don't get distracted with all this noise on social media that, oh, my business is not doing good. Oh, they raised $3 million, I didn't do it. You have to think about, all right, what is it with the decision I'm making? Every goal you set, you're gonna say no to few things, say yes to others. And I've seen this pattern a lot, that you overstretch yourself by saying yes to everything because you wanna be the perfect person in every role you play in your life, and you burn out. So you gotta think about what is it that, I'll share an example myself. I stopped the newsletter, we're gonna revamp the website, I stopped the software. Like, we cannot focus on everything at once. What is it that I have to accept as a cost for my business, and what is it that I'm gaining in exchange? So be realistic. And that also plays in your life too. Like, what I'm gonna say no to my social nights for a while, or I'm gonna say no to my hockey teams for a while, whatever that is. There's always constant trade. And lastly, I've heard this a lot. I'm not good at accounting. I hired my accountant to do this job. I'm not good at marketing. I'm a business owner. I'm a business manager. I'm a people manager. I don't want to deal with the marketing. I've heard this a lot as well. It's like, I hired this person to do it. If you're a small business owner, even if you hire the best person as a consultant, you still need to be hands-on. So that's one fact. The second fact is, you underestimate yourself how much you know. I will share one simple example so you can resonate with that example in other areas of your business. Like, you cannot say, I'm not a good cook, because that means you cannot wash the vegetables, you cannot cut the tomatoes, you cannot do you cannot fry those vegetables. To be a cook, there are many steps. Sure, on some of the steps you're not good, some of the steps you are good. It's the same thing when it comes to your business. Maybe you're not the best accountant, but you're good at just plus minus of some of the numbers. You're good at making a sense that my expenses are going higher than my revenue. What should I focus on? Still there is something you're good at. So don't get into this cycle of, oh, I just wanted to be the best engineer and run this idea. It is necessary for you to be involved in all areas of your business at some point, but also have the confidence that there is still something. You have done it over and over for many years, and you are good at it. And at the end, your business is gonna grow. You're gonna have some years with losses. You're gonna have some years with high profit. This is just a journey that you signed up for the rest of your life. And at the end, what really, when you look back at your business, at your journey, what you're gonna see, what I have gained, is really the character you have built. Is that character? Is the character that was developed through your business. You used your business as a way of self-expression, self-discovery. So at the end, the success, I can tell you, I've seen a lot of businesses, they raised $20 million, and 5 years down the road, they were out of business. I mean, sure, I'm not saying this is not what success is, but if you want to get out of that Ferris wheel and have this grounded character that when the business goes through up and down, you can get out of this roller coaster and make the right decision, really focus on what is it that, who am I becoming through this business? Thanks for your attention. So question and answer. What question? Do I have time for questions? Or?
We have 5 minutes.
Okay. Or any feedback or comments. It doesn't have to be a question. It could be just a perspective that is different from what was shared. So, yes.
Well, Adel mentioned that as a leader, he would love to surrounded by a team member who challenge him.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, I think it takes a lot of courage, and it's the right way. But what I have noticed with the many leaders I've worked with, they say, I want to be, first of all, like what Adel said is the right, I personally experienced it's the right approach. What I can add to that, I've coached many leaders that they say it, I want my team gives me feedback, but the moment you give them feedback, they become so defensive. So it's like they don't have awareness of, like there's this gap between their ideal self and the real self. So of course, the way to build that awareness is to be challenged by the people around you. But it takes a lot of courage and character to actually accept and listen to that challenge without being defensive. So I've seen very few leaders who truly, authentically want to be challenged and really welcome that challenging ideas. But that's what I'm talking about. Success is that character you're building.
So if you wake up early morning and you figure out that this is me, not my ego making this decision, and then joining sales team meeting and they challenge you, then...
How does that make you feel when people challenge you?
I'm fine with it. I love it. But as a leader, I'm the one who fired end of the day if I don't show a good number, correct? Mm-hmm.
So your question is, I just want to make sure I understand your question. Your question is, I wake up in the morning, I go to the meeting, I tell the team, hey, challenge me, hit me. What is it? And then you notice the team challenged me, but how is that going to impact the result I'm going to be delivering at the end, which is those numbers? Is that what you're asking?
Just try to understand the difference between me and ego. After a lot of thinking, come up with the idea that probably is me, not my ego, and then it's challenged by my team member. Should I question my decision again, or?
I mean, I don't know what the decision is or whether you should question your decision or not. But if you go to the meeting and you listen to respond to your team, you listen to agree or disagree to your team, you listen to justify and explain yourself, that's not you listening, that's your ego listening. But if you go to the meeting and you're like, my agenda for this meeting is I'm going to listen to understand. Even that's different from what I think it is, but I'm just going to listen to understand without talking about my own experience, without giving advice, without telling them what's right or not. That's you listening. So I don't know if that addressed your question. So whether you should question your decision or not, it really highly depends if you really listen to understand the situation before agreeing or disagreeing to anything. Does that make sense? Yep. Yeah, okay. I saw another hand. No? Oh, yes.
Well, I was listening to everything that you said, and I think the biggest thing that I understand is about self-conscious, right? And my question for you is, how can I understand that I'm, how can I understand that I'm going through a victimism? Sorry, my English is very terrible. But
no, it's not very typical. Victim mentality, I'm following.
Yeah. How can you understand that you are going through a victim mindset, and how can you exercise your mind to maybe get out through this
mentality that you're having? So her question, just for those who couldn't hear, her question is, how can I build awareness around whether I'm putting myself in this victim mentality, like I'm getting into this cycle of I'm the victim of my situation. How can I get out of this? Did I understand your question quickly? So it goes back to the signs that I listed out. The very first thing is your body tells you. If your body is not grounded, it means the ego exists. It means that ego is like put you in the victim mentality and making sure that every decision you make is proving you're the victim. You start being passive aggressive towards your team because you want to be the victim. So the first thing is really your body tells you. This is one of the measuring metrics we use in our leadership coaching, that the leader says, it's been a year, I'm getting a good sleep. I wake up and my body feels right. So that's the very first sign. And it was all really the fourth signs. You notice you have resentment towards others. Like the moment your thought process goes through having resentment towards others or start blaming others, that's the moment that victim voices exist. Because it's such a blind alley, it's such pointless to blame others. At the end, you gotta figure out what is my power to turn things around. So I think those signs that are listed out, you can use it as a sign that they're like, oh, I'm having resentment towards my team member. That's my victim voice that is creating this situation to prove you're not the victim. You always have an option.
So it's kind of way of thinking of like the amusement of everything is kind of a part of the self, the survival mode of voice. It's like this. So like feel like a victim. It's a result of this way of thinking, so right?
Yeah, so what you said is like when we are going with the way of thinking of being victim mentality, it's a way for us to survive. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, it is, and you are surviving the situation. When you are being passive-aggressive towards your team member and business partner, you are surviving that situation specifically, but you're not thriving. You still have like issue down the road that is holding you back from growth. So it is a survival mechanism. It just helps you to survive that situation. What other questions, comments?
Thank you very much. You spoke about and the differences between them. What I understand, when there is a dish, let me say like this, when there is a dish, there is a way.
When there is a will, there is a way. Yeah, that's true.
Am I right or not? Exactly, what's the differences between them, the hopefulness and the wishfulness? You pointed out about it. Can you elaborate a little bit more about them?
Okay, so the question is, there's this saying, and you've heard about this saying, when there is a will, there is a way. So there's this saying that says, when there is a will, there is a way. And your question is, how can we make sure that our will is not just a wish, but actual hope? Is that what your question is? So that goes back to what we discussed in the presentation, that you can be hopeful when there is a specific goal you're focusing on and you have a strategy. But also all these words need to be defined. What is strategy? Strategy is it's a method. It's the way you choose to navigate your challenges. Because as I mentioned, I have seen a lot of organizations that do strategic planning. They set goals, they have the roadmap, but there's no understanding of what the strategy is. And usually strategy is the tactic you use to navigate your challenges. So what is your tactic to navigate the challenge you're facing? So if you don't have the answer to this, you're just a wishful thinker. Does that address your question? I just want to be mindful of the time, but yeah? Okay, well, thank you for the attention.
October 19th, 2025, UBC Innovation Center, Vancouver.